We are seeing a ton of players break out so far this year in the 2026 season. So for today's video, I wanted to give you guys 20 guys that are just breaking out right now, in my opinion, that I pretty much just want to talk about. And you could be breaking out in different ways. Maybe you were just like a good role player and you're becoming kind of like a star level player or a good starter. Maybe you were an end of the bench guy and now you are a key contributor. And like always, let me know if there's anybody that I didn't mention here today that you think is breaking out so far this year. So we're going to start off with one of my favorite breakout players this year, maybe my most improved player pick today, and that is going to be Ryan Rollins of the Milwaukee Bucks. Ryan Rollins this year is averaging around 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists a night out of nowhere. Now, we saw Ryan Rollins have a little bit of playing time last year. He did appear in 56 games. He started 19 of them, averaging around 14 and a half minutes a night. His minutes went up when Damian Lillard got injured later in the year last season, but he has gone from 6.2 points per game to 17.9 points per game this year. That is tripling your points per game total. And the efficiency hasn't gone down either. He's actually stayed around the same, 48% from the field. He's gone slightly down from 40% from 3 to 39% from 3, but he's taking 3 more threes a night. He's a solid free throw shooter, and what I love about Ryan Rollins, he's a very hard-nosed defender. He wants to be your main point of attack guy. He's gonna fly around defensively. He's gonna run in transition off a miss, and this is somebody that's probably not gonna be like the reason Giannis would ever stay in Milwaukee, but he could definitely help. And the Milwaukee Bucks signed him to an amazing contract in the offseason where he's making $4 million this year, $4 million next year, and has a $4 million player option in 2028. And if he keeps this up, he could probably more than quadruple, or he could 5-6 times what he's currently making right now on a per year basis, because he'll be hitting free agency again at 25 years old. And it is an incredible story. He was a second round pick back in the 2022 draft. He was waived by the worst team in the NBA, the Washington Wizards, after being involved in that Chris Paul Jordan Poole trade. Milwaukee picked him up, and Milwaukee for once actually developed a guy in their system. And honestly, I don't know where Milwaukee would be this year without Ryan Rollins, because he helped them beat Detroit when Giannis got hurt. He helped them beat Golden State, honestly single-handedly beat Golden State early in the year when Giannis was out, and he's just going to be a solid point guard in this league for a while. Some days when I'm recording videos for you guys, I don't really have the most time in the world to cook, think about cooking, or just the prep in general, especially during this time of the year where we could get a Giannis Antetokounmpo trade request out of nowhere. And that's why I'm excited to say that today's video is sponsored by Factor. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals straight to your doorstep. So that just takes another layer of stress, my time, and energy off my back. And the best part, they're ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So I was just talking about how I don't really have the time to prep, go out and get the ingredients, cook everything, wait for something in the oven for an hour, and that's where Factor saves a lot of my time, and I'm also getting a delicious meal out of it as well. And what I love about Factor is they have 100 different rotating weekly options. From meals to salads to breakfast, shakes, and more, they're all crafted for great taste and nutrition. And now they have meals that feature double the protein, double the seafood, compared to last year. And they make it where you can enjoy the flavor first dishes that fit your specific preferences. And also your goals. So you could choose plans like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, vegan and veggie, and others as well designed to meet your unique nutritional needs. And it's really just that simple. All you got to do is just take the meal out of the box. You're going to pierce the plastic a few times with a fork or sharp knife to vent it, and then you're going to microwave it for 2 minutes. And then when the 2 minutes is up, you're going to just let it sit for a little bit, and then you're going to carefully remove the film. I'm making the 4-cheese tortellini Italian sausage with sauteed kale and green beans in this one. And yeah, it's just 2 minutes, and then I can go right back to making videos for you guys. And I'm excited to share with you guys that Factor is offering 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for a whole year with code SROS FB50. That's SROS FB50. You can see it on your screen now. Use that code at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. Link is in the description and the pinned comment below. And thank you again to Factor for sponsoring today's video. Let's talk about another point guard that's kind of came out of nowhere that had a little bit more of a well-known background, but still was somebody that was fighting for a guaranteed contract going into this year. Colin Gillespie of the Phoenix Suns. Colin Gillespie was a star at Villanova. He played about 5 years with the Wildcats from 2018 to 2022, even being a key contributor on that 2018 Nova team, helping them go to the Final Four in 2021. And he goes undrafted basically out of the 2023 NBA draft. He played 24 games with the Denver Nuggets in 2024, averaging about 3.5 points. And then he signed a 2-way contract with the Phoenix Suns in the 2024 offseason, and he looked solid, especially towards the end of the year last year for Phoenix when they needed a point guard when they had some injuries. He shot 43% from 3, averaged about 6 points in 14 minutes, appeared in 33 games. This year, in 22 games so far, Colin Gillespie could definitely be in talks for the most improved player award. He's up to 13.5 points this year, 5 assists, 3.8 rebounds, shooting 44% from 3 on 7 attempts a night. He's one of the better 3-point shooters in the NBA, kind of coming off a 2-way contract. And he was just happy going into this year that he got the guaranteed minimum contract, just about $2 million a year, just to have some certainty with this Phoenix Suns roster. And Devin Booker recently got injured as well. Colin Gillespie is going to step up for the Phoenix Suns, and like Ryan Rollins, has been one of the better storylines this year. These guys are just kind of coming out of nowhere. Let's talk about a player that's kind of in a different tier than Ryan Rollins and Colin Gillespie, Denny of Dia of the Portland Trailblazers, because we were all asking, maybe going into the year, who was the guy on the Portland Trailblazers that was going to take that offensive leap. Anthony Simons gets traded to Boston. Jrue Holiday isn't going to be someone that's going to average north of 20 points per game. So was it going to be Scoot? No, he got hurt. Was it going to be Shane Sharp? He struggled with his efficiency at the start of the year, so it's been Denny of Dia. I mean, last year, Denny looked great in his first year in Portland. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, looked great in the second half with Portland after really struggling in his first couple weeks. And Denny's turning into one of the best scorers in the NBA. He's averaging just under 26 points per game this year. He's averaging around 7 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 47% from the field, 37% from 3, and 81% from the free throw line, taking almost 10 free throws a game. Denny's turning into one of the best free throw guys in the NBA, getting to the line a ton as of late. In recent games, he's had 14 free throws against the Spurs, 23 free throws against the Thunder, 15 free throws against the Raptors, and 17 free throws against the Cavs. And this is somebody that is handling the workload for the Portland Trailblazers, a team that really hasn't had much guard play this year because we know Scoot's been hurt. Jrue Holiday suffered, unfortunately, a calf injury, so he's been missing some time for a little bit now. So Denny's had to step up as the primary playmaker, and he's such a talented driver. He knows when to kick out, when to attack the rim, and is 100% under the best contract in the NBA, and I don't think there is a debate. Denny this year is scheduled to make around $14.3 million. Patrick Williams is making more than him this year, and then it actually goes down. $13 million next year, $11.8 million in 2028, still just 24 years old. Maybe a player similar to Denny of Dia this year, just this hyper athletic wing that is kind of breaking out as their team's #1 option, Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. And I think Jalen Johnson is breaking out in all the ways we thought he was going to break out last year before he suffered that season-ending shoulder injury after 36 games. And Jalen Johnson has stepped up when Trae Young has missed a decent amount of time this year with a knee injury. Jalen Johnson is averaging around 23 points, 10 rebounds. We know he's a good scorer and rebounder, but 7.3 assists per game right now, up from 5 last year. He's handling that offensive creator workload with Trae Young on the shelf. I also questioned a little bit of Jalen Johnson's 3-point shot going into the year because he shot 31% from 3 last year. Not really a super large sample of Johnson being a good 3-point shooter in his career. Well, he's shooting 41% from 3 this year. He's shooting almost 54% from the field, 58% on twos, getting to the free throw line over 6 times a night, and is also going to play some really good defense for you as well. This is turning into an untouchable asset for the Atlanta Hawks. What a pick by their front office. He was the 20th overall selection back in the 2021 draft. We just talked about one Jalen and Jalen Johnson. Let's talk about another Jalen in Jalen Duren of the Detroit Pistons. He is definitely breaking out this year at still just 22 years old. He was the youngest player in that 2022 draft class, and here in year number 4, he just turned 22. It is incredible how young Jalen Duren is. Last year, Duren really struggled on both ends of the court in the first half of the year, but really started to take strides towards the end of the season, which coincided with the Sarr Thompson coming back to help him out as a defender. And this year, Jalen Duren has been averaging around 19 points per game. He averaged 11.8 points per game last year. He's averaging over 11 rebounds a night, up there with some of the best in the NBA, around a steal and block a night, and he's just going to be a monster around the rim. He's shooting 65% this year, and he's doing all this in about 29 minutes a night. He has built up such a good chemistry and connection with Cade Cunningham, their franchise point guard. He's such a good alley-oop catcher, a good screen setter, a good player out of the short roll. He can handle the ball on the perimeter as well. I know he doesn't really take a lot of jumpers, but I trust Jalen Duren with the ball in his hands, and I don't feel like he's a clumsy big whatsoever. This is a star big man in Detroit, and it's looking wise by him and his camp to not sign a rookie extension going into the year, because he may now get a decent payday in the 2026 offseason. Yeah, I think Dillon Brooks is also breaking out this year, so shout out to what Colin Gillespie is doing in Phoenix, but Dillon Brooks has arguably been like their best player up there with Devin Booker. It's still probably Devin Booker, but now that Booker is out, Brooks is going to have to step up as the #1 option. Yeah, with Jalen Green on the shelf, Dillon Brooks has been the prime asset in return of the Kevin Durant trade so far. He's averaging 22 points per game, up from 14 last year. Around 3 rebounds, 2 assists, about 2 steals a night as well. He's usually taking the top defensive assignment on that end of the court. He's shooting 46% from the field. He's struggling a little bit from 3, but he's taking about 7.5 threes a night, 32% from 3. He's shooting about 85% from the free throw line, by far a career high in free throws attempted, around 4 a night. And Dillon Brooks is also under a fantastic contract as well. He's making around 21 million this year, then it goes down to 19 million next year. I thought that Dillon Brooks was going to be a very intriguing trade piece here at the 2026 deadline. In a seller's market, the Suns could get a nice return. No, he's playing too good for this team that's actually overachieving this year right now. The Suns are multiple games above 500. They're around the 7th seed in the Western Conference. They could definitely make the playoffs. Dillon Brooks is here to stay. We're going to talk about a couple guys drafted in the 2024 class that are kind of breaking out in their sophomore years. First one, AJ Mitchell of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, Sam Presti. How do you do it, man? Every single time. It was a weak draft, and he took somebody with the 38th overall pick that's already the best team in the NBA, and AJ Mitchell is just averaging a light 15 points, 3.5 rebounds, almost 4 assists per game this year, kind of stepping up at times as the number 2 scoring option when Jalen Williams was out. And he also just signed AJ Mitchell to a fantastic contract extension before the season started. $3 million this year, $2.8 million in 2027, and oh yeah, just a $2.8 million team option in 2028. AJ Mitchell is shooting around 47% from the field, 34% from 3, 87% from the free throw line. He looks so comfortable as a downhill attacker. He can operate out of isolation. He's fantastic in transition. He's averaging 1.5 steals per game this year as well. Just fits this OKC dynamic perfectly. And this is how you beat the second apron if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder. You get somebody that can give you 15 a night that's going to be making around $3 million a year. We're going to talk about our first player that's not even averaging north of 6 points per game, but I think is breaking out to being a key contributor for the Boston Celtics right now, Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh was the 38th overall pick back in the 2023 draft out of Arkansas, and I don't think he was NBA ready in the slightest. He just played 9 games in his rookie season, the year they won it all. Last year, he did appear in 52 games, but most of that was garbage time. This year, though, with Jason Tatum on the shelf, Jordan Walsh has been one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. He's averaging 1.5 offensive rebounds in about 19 minutes per game. And these all seem to happen late in the game when it's crunch time, and he's just flying at the glass, just coming out of nowhere and getting the Celtics a key rebound. He's averaging around 5.5 points this year, 4.5 rebounds, shooting 51% from the field, 37% from 3, 79% from the free throw line, 1 steal a night. Like, he's giving the Boston Celtics also great defense as well. He's 6'6", 205 pounds. He could switch on to multiple guys. He plays extremely hard. He's going to get back in transition. He's going to try to get a chase down block. This is exactly who Boston needs as well. When they're paying a lot of money to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they need somebody that's making $2.2 million. It's a former second round pick to step up for them, and he's making $2.4 million next year as well. This is another key contributor in Boston that's still just 21 years old. Second guy here from the 2024 draft class, we're going to talk about Kel'el Ware of the Miami Heat, who's kind of just turned into one of the better rebounders in the NBA. At 7 foot tall, 21 years old, Kel'el Ware is averaging 10.5 rebounds per game this year, up from 7.5 last year, and he's only playing 2 more minutes per game. Ware's also come off the bench a decent amount this year as well. He started 14 out of their 22 games. He hasn't really started at all for this team as of late since Tyler Hero came back, and he's been a good shot blocker, over a block a night, around a steal a night. He's averaging 12 points, like I said, 10 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, 53% from the field. Oh yeah, just 43.5% from 3. He looked solid as a 3-point shooter last year, and he's looking the part as a 3-point shooter again this year. Even 81% from the free throw line on 2 attempts a game. I would kill for that as a Knicks fan that's watching Mitchell Robinson shoot 17% from the free throw line. Kel'el Ware shooting a nice 81%, and this was a non-lottery pick, the 15th overall selection in the 2024 draft. One of the best rebounders in the NBA right now, a great floor spacer at the center position, and gives Miami a ton of lineup versatility because you can have Kel'el Ware out there as the 5 if Bam needs a rest, or he could be out there with Bam as well because both of them have turned into nice 3-point shooters. We're going to go on a streak here of 2024 draft picks. Let's talk about Reed Sheppard of the Houston Rockets. A lot of people were quick to give up on Reed Sheppard. A lot of people thought he should have just been included in the Kevin Durant trade, and the Rockets are looking very smart by not giving up on their 3rd overall pick 1 year into his career. Reed Sheppard had such an inconsistent leash last year with Ime Udoka. The Rockets were trying to win. If Reed Sheppard missed a couple threes, his main specialty, he would get pulled out of the rotation very quickly. That's going to kill a rookie guard's confidence. This year, though, Reed Sheppard's confidence is off the charts, and he's looking as efficient as he did at Kentucky in 2024. 47% from the field, 45% from three on 6 attempts a night. He shot 35% from the field last year and 33% from three. So the field goal percentage is up 12%. The 3-point percentage is up 12%. And he's averaging 13 points. The points per game have tripled from 4.5 to 13. 3 assists a night, 3 rebounds, 1.7 steals as well. He's going to be such a big part of the Houston Rockets this year. He's started some games for them as well. He has started about 4 games so far this year out of 19. The Rockets have had a ton of guard injuries at the moment. But yeah, like I said, he's looking exactly like the shooter and the offensive creator we saw at Kentucky a couple years ago. And it's the reason why he went 3rd overall to a team that's kind of trying to win now. All right, last 2024 draft pick we're going to talk about. It's going to be the 3rd one in a row. It is Alex Sarr of the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards have not been a pleasant watch this year, to no surprise. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA. They're sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Conference when I'm recording this, but Alex Sarr has been one of their lone bright spots this year. I'm not going to talk about Keyonte George in this video, but you could definitely talk about Keyonte George as a breakout guy this year. I just thought the Wizards, they just get one nomination here, so I'm going to go with Sarr, who's averaging 19 points, up from 13 last year. He's gone from 6.5 rebounds to 8.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists to 3.5 assists. He's averaging around 2 blocks a night. And what I like about Sarr, that's kind of very similar with his French teammate Victor Wembanyama. The shot diet has gotten so much better this year. He's not taking as many threes, and he's treating himself like a 7-foot big man in the half court. He's taking about 2 less threes per game this year, and the 3-point percentage is hovering around 35%. He's shooting 51% from the field. He's getting to the free throw line a little bit more. Needs to be a better free throw shooter, but I love Sarr's upside as a shot blocker. I think he's extremely agile and quick as a 7-foot big man, so we can guard guys on the perimeter. And this is definitely the best long-term asset the Washington Wizards have, and he's living up to that number 2 pick status. He went to Washington in that 2024 draft. Who saw this breakout coming? Nickeil Alexander-Walker of the Atlanta Hawks. He might be a first-time All-Star this year. You would have been a millionaire if you took that bet going into the year. He was averaging 9.5 points per game for the Minnesota Timberwolves last year, and he's averaging 20 points per game this year. What an incredible scoring leap. Obviously, that is in part because Trae Young got hurt, so they needed somebody else to step up offensively, and Alexander Walker, with the increase in workload, has been doing more than stepping up. He's been a viable number 2. He's been better than Zachary Ruiz-Sachet. He's been better than Dyson Daniels and Kristaps Porzingis. He's shooting 46% from the field on 15 field goal attempts per game. He's shooting 38% from 3 on 7 attempts a night. This is looking like the scorer that we thought he could have been coming out of Virginia Tech in that 2019 NBA draft. He's shooting about 85% from the free throw line, getting to the line about 4.5 times a night, by far a career high. He's playing good defense. We saw how good of a defender he was for a couple years in Minnesota, and he's looking the part in Atlanta. The 6'5", 27-year-old has been maybe the best pickup in the offseason. It's up there with Kevin Durant and Desmond Bane. We have another veteran that we're going to talk about. It's another 27-year-old, and it's Michael Porter Jr. of the Brooklyn Nets. We've never seen Michael Porter Jr. as a number 1 option in his career. He was always playing with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and some others in Denver, and he is actually taking care of the number 1 opportunity roles in Brooklyn. We knew that he was going to be the number 1 going into the year. They traded Cam Johnson for him in the offseason, and there wasn't a lot of other shot creators on this team, maybe outside of Cam Thomas, because it was a lot of rookies or one-dimensional bigs offensively. So Michael Porter Jr. has had to take some very difficult shots late in the shot clock, or getting double teamed or contested around the rim, and he is averaging 25 points per game this year, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 49% from the field, 38% from 3, and 81% from the free throw line. It was not too long ago we were talking about Michael Porter Jr. as maybe an untradeable contract around $40 million this year and next year, and now there's fake trades going out there that the Nets could get quite a haul for Michael Porter Jr. at the deadline. Let's go to the city, Utah now. We're going to talk about a Jazz, and it's going to be Keyonte George. Keyonte George has turned out to be one of the better young assets for the Jazz right now, who's gone up from 17 points per game last year in year 2 to 23 points per game this year in year number 3. The assists are now getting around 7 a night, as he's been kind of the main point guard this season. 4 rebounds a night, about a steal, 45% from the field, 32% from 3, and 89% from the free throw line on 7 free throw attempts per game. Keyonte George has been getting to the line a ton this year. He's taking advantage of his improved whistle, and obviously Lauri Markkanen is the best player on this team, but now you're starting to think Keyonte George may be more of a valuable asset than like Walker Kessler or Ace Bailey, who are great assets on this team as well long term. Keyonte George is turning into the guy in the backcourt for the Jazz for the foreseeable future. All right, so we may talk about the best player in this video right now, and that is going going to be Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Tyrese Maxey has already won most improved player, but I was worried about Tyrese Maxey as a #1 option last year. He kind of struggled at times with his efficiency when Paul George and Joel Embiid weren't out there, and he's had to play plenty this year with Embiid and George not on the floor, but he's looked every part of one of the best scoring players in the league this season. Over 32 points, around 5 rebounds, 7.5 assists a night, 47% from the field, 38% from 3, and 88% from the free throw line on around 8 attempts a night. He's been the #1, and Nick Nurse is kind of just running him into the ground as well. He's played over 40 minutes per game this year, and it's December, by far leading the NBA minutes per game. He's leading the NBA in field goal attempts per game as well. His free throw rate is up. His shot selection looks a little bit better as well, now being a #1 option. He's one of the quickest players in the NBA, and he's now the guy in Philadelphia. It's no longer Embiid's team, it's Maxey's team. So if the season ended today and Wemby was eligible to get DPOY, I would give it to him. But if he wasn't, I'd probably give it to my next guy here, Scottie Barnes of the Toronto Raptors, whose numbers don't look that much better on the surface level from last year, but it is night and day from Scottie's 4th year to the 5th year here in 2026. So he's gone up in almost every statistic, but he's averaging 20 points this year, 8 rebounds, 5 assists on 51, 41, 85 splits. Scottie Barnes has been super efficient this year for the Raptors. 41% from 3. That's up from 27% last year. The shot selection looks so much better. He's been a better free throw shooter as well. He's still a great point forward. And oh yeah, just about a block and a half a night and a steal and a half a night. He is 6'8", 240 pounds. He can guard 1 through 5 on the floor. He can go over screens, under screens. He can be quick to adapt and adjust in the defensive half court. And this is legitimately turning into one of the better defensive players in the NBA. There's a really good chance Scottie Barnes can be an all defensive member this year, which makes him to get right in line for an all-NBA honors for the first time in his career. We'll stay in the Eastern Conference now. We're going to talk about a former 6th overall pick of the Orlando Magic, Anthony Black, breaking out for this team this season. Anthony Black is turning into a really good bench guard or bench wing for this team, whatever you want to classify him as. He's gone up from 9.5 points last year to 13 points this year, 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.5 steals a night, 47% from the field, 34% from 3, and he's also stepped up since Paolo Banchero went down with his injury, because ever since that injury, in those 11 games where his minutes have gone up, he's shooting around 48% from the field, 37% from 3, and averaging 15.5 points a night. Anthony Black is a great defender. He's really good in transition, and he's turning exactly into the player Orlando needs him to be. I think he's a big X factor for how far Orlando is going to go this season. Now, the Bulls are coming back down to earth a little bit. They're looking like the team we thought they were going to be going into this year, but I still think Josh Giddey has fully broken out as being one of the best offensive point guards in the NBA. He's gone up from 14 points per game last year to 21 points per game this year. Nobody really wanted to sign him in the offseason. It happened late in the offseason where Chicago was able to get him at a well below market value price of about $25 million. So I said he's averaging 21 points per game. Oh yeah, how about 10 rebounds and 9 assists as well? He might average a triple-double at the end of the year. I think he would if his teammates were a little bit better, and Giddey has been super efficient as well. 48% from the field, 39% from 3, 73% from the free throw line, so he's struggling a little bit there. But Giddey has had a high usage this year. There's still some defensive issues for sure, but Giddey is one of the best offensive playmakers in the NBA, and he's going to be the franchise point guard in Chicago for a little bit now. Now, I was out on Jameer Hawkins going into this year. He was an older prospect coming into the 2023 draft. He struggled a ton last year, could not hit his threes. Well, he's turning it all around this year. He still really can't hit his threes, but he is taking so much better shots and has really stepped up for the Miami Heat in the absence of Tyler Hero before he recently came back. He was averaging around 15 points, 6 rebounds, and how about 5 assists a night? Kind of acting like a pseudo point guard for the Miami Heat, shooting 50% from the field, 55% on twos, 78% from the free throw line. A great transition player, a great cutter and slasher as well in this Miami Heat offense that doesn't operate a lot on pick and rolls, and Hawkins has been a perfect fit for them. And the last player I'm going to talk about, he's averaging 28 points per game this year for the biggest market in the NBA, Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves has turned into one of the best offensive players in the league this year. He has gone up from 20 points per game to 28 points per game, and this is what the Lakers needed. LeBron James is 40. Who knows if he can average north of 25 points per game this year? It does look like LeBron has taken a little bit of a step back, and Reaves has taken the mantle as the number 2 next to Luka on this roster. 52% from the field, 36% from three, 88% from the free throw line on 9 attempts a night, over 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. He can get to the rim with ease. He could finish around anybody, and he's going to get a massive payday from the Lakers this upcoming offseason. So that is going to be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, I would appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know if there's anybody that you think is breaking out that I didn't mention here today down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this. Thank you again to Factor for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to check them out. Link is in the description and the pinned comment below, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.